Assalamu alaikum, dears, how are you? There are quite a lot of psychological problems prevailing maybe everywhere, but one psychological problem which is very common in our society, in many other societies as well, that is crippling the life of people suffering from it. They are unable to live fully. They remain stressful and anxiety ridden, unable to develop the good relationship with the people. So, my dear friends and fellows, it is really important that we need to pay heed to it. And this problem is called overthinking. Overthinking, indeed, that is something many of the people around me are suffering from this overthinking problem. Several people around you too will be suffering from it. Some of these people will be our loved ones. So I think it is very important indeed for us to be able to understand this problem from different angles. Being able to understand this problem from different angles, it is really important. So let's talk about it. What is the First of all, we need to understand that what exactly is overthinking. What is overthinking? Excessive thinking, excessive analyzing, or worrying quite often about a situation, about a particular situation, leading to mental fatigue. That is called technically overthinking. Now, there are certain signs of overthinking. If at all we find that this person is having a sign of overthinking, then we need to pay attention to it. And there are seven signs of overthinking. The first sign of overthinking is rumination. That is repeating thoughts over and over and over, repeating thoughts over and over and over, whether the thought is a good one or it is a bad one, whether it pleases you or it displeases you. In both of these cases, I think that we don't need to think it repeatedly, otherwise, it will become a rumination. So, that is one sign of overthinking. The second sign of overthinking, it is anxiety. The anxiety, if at all somebody remain anxious quite often, it does mean, although rarely or sometime we do become anxious, and it does happen with everybody. But if at all somebody is seen anxious quite often, it does mean that they are an overthinker. Now the third major sign of overthinking. It is indecision. First of all, it is very difficult to take a decision. It takes a lot and lot of time to reach a decision. But once a decision has been made, then these people who are the overthinking thinker, they are much more prone to change it. They keep changing. They are unable to stick to a decision. It does not mean that we should blindly follow. There are certain occasions when we need to change our decision. But if at all it is happening quite often with someone else, so it does mean that they people are suffering from overthinking. Now, the fourth major sign of the overthinking, it is lack of focus, difficulty, feeling quite difficult, to focus and to concentrate upon something else. So that is the fourth sign of overthinking. Now the fifth sign of overthinking, it is insomnia, unable to sleep properly. So that is insomnia. Now the sixth sign of overthinking, it is the mental exhaustion. Somebody remain exhausted mentally quite often, not rarely. If at all it does happen rarely, it is not because of the overthinking, but it does happen quite often. It means that somebody is suffering from, overthinking. Now the seventh sign of overthinking, it is the physical symptoms like the headache, like stomach issues, if at all, somebody remain, suffering from the headaches quite often, headache quite often, stomach issues quite often, so they too are actually quite probably, not necessarily, but quite probably, they are suffering from the problem of overthinking. Now we need to look upon what are the causes of, what are the causes, what are the root causes of overthinking. Again, these are seven in number. The first, cause of overthinking, it is the fear of failure. Fear of failure. Failure, it is not bad at all. If at all we are, willing to learn, if at all we want to improve, if at all we want to become a resilient person, so failure is not bad. I don't say that we should intentionally, sabotage ourselves. So that is not good at all. But otherwise, if at all we have made a sincere effort, but we could not succeed, no problem at all, because our today's failure will become the tomorrow's success. Simply we need to learn from our failure. So the second major reason for this overthinking, the second major cause of the overthinking, it is fear of failure. The first major cause of the overthinking, it is the fear of failure. The second major cause of the overthinking, it is the perfectionism. Somebody want to do something in a perfect manner. It is not possible at all. What is possible, what we need to aim for, we need to aim for the improvement. With the passage of time, with the practice, we should insist on one thing, that I want to improve. I am not perfect today. I will never become perfect today, and I will never ever become perfect, and I don't want to become perfect. And there is nothing like perfection at all. There is an excellence, and the excellence will come only and only with the practice. Even if at all I'm a mediocre, it's no problem at all. I don't need to be perfect at all. So the third major reason for, the third major cause of, overthinking, it is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. We need to look upon how can I raise my self-esteem, because once the self-esteem is raised, obviously the things will improve a lot. Now the fourth major reason, major cause of overthinking, it is trauma. A trauma which happened to us, which left the score, and it is not easy to heal at all. The symptoms and the effects remain for years to come. So something very painful, emotionally painful happened to us, and it is still lingering on somewhere in our psychology, in our mind. That is the trauma. Another major cause of this overthinking is the trauma. Now the fifth major cause of overthinking, it is stress. We need to do something about the stress. So now the sixth major cause of this overthinking, it is social media comparison. We are looking upon the Instagram, we are looking upon the life of the celebrities, what they are eating, what they are wearing, the way they are roaming here and there. And then the seventh and the last major cause of the overthinking, it is the lack of self confidence. Self confidence is also very important indeed. Now we need to look upon what are the effects of overthinking, because the effects of overthinking, these are also, very deadly, very bad indeed, and we need to do something about the effects of the overthinking. These are five in number. Five are the major effects of overthinking. The first effect of the overthinking, it is decreased motivation. We remain not so motivated toward for the achieve for setting the goals and for trying to achieve the goals. We are not much motivated. So that is one effect of, one major effect of, overthinking. The second major effect of overthinking, it is strained relationships with many of the people. Now that is also, a major effect, negative effect of overthinking. The third major negative effect of this overthinking, it is decreased creativity. Decreased creativity is the third major negative effect of overthinking. Now, the fourth major effect of overthinking, it is increased anxiety and depression. Increased anxiety and depression is the fourth major, negative effect of overthinking. Now, the fifth and the loss, the fifth and the loss major negative effect of overthinking, it is physical health problem. Now these are the five major negative effects of overthinking. Now let's go to the next segment, that is overcoming overthinking. How can I or you, or a loved one, can overcome the overthinking? So there are five ways to do that. The first way to overcome overthinking, it is the challenge negative thoughts, counter negative thoughts, challenge negative thoughts. Negative thoughts comes to everybody, but come to the mind of everybody. But those people who are not overthinking thinker, they are doing great. Look upon them. They challenge, they counter their negative thought, they defeat their negative thought. If at all somebody is talking to them and talking negativity, they people are seen countering it. Do not succumb to the negative thoughts at all, otherwise your life will be quite a disaster. Now that is the first way to overcome overthinking. It is challenge the negative thoughts. The second is focus on the present moment. Focus on the present, not to focus on the past, not to focus on the future. As for the each one of us has a past. The past, there were plenty of good things, there were plenty of bad things. So we don't need to dwell in the past at all. Learn whatever can be learned out of our experiences in the past, then let it go. Now, as for the future is concerned, do not keep worrying about the future. Plan it, let it go. Focus upon the present, our today, and the present moment. That is focus on the present moment. So this is the second way, this is the second important way to overcome the overthinking. Now the third way to overcome the overthinking, it is engage in creative activities. Any kind of creative activities, whether it is writing, it is painting, it is singing, it is any form of creative activity which you like, or which you can do, which you can practice. It is the, engage in creative activities. Now the fourth way of overcoming the negative thinking, it is practice gratitude. Gratitude, many of the people say what to be grateful for. Actually, it is not the case that there isn't good in their life, simply they're focused on the bad in their life. They don't pay attention to the what is good in their life. They are seen, they are seen taking it for granted, they are seen ignoring it. So then they remain focused on, what is bad in their life. I think we should not be we shouldn't be focusing upon the bad in our life. Rather, we need to focus upon what is good in our life and be grateful even for the smaller thing which we are availing, utilizing, and benefiting from. So that is, practice gratitude. Now the fifth and the last, important way to overcome the overthinking, it is take breaks and relax, unwind, recharge, unwind, recharge, take breaks and relax. So that is, these are the five major ways to overcome it. Now remember, mindfulness, resources. There are certain resources. There are three major resources. One is self-help books, and two important self-help books are, recommended here. The first one is The Power of Now. The second is Daring Greatly. So then it is the mindfulness application on the smartphone. One such application, it is the Headspace. The second, a very good application, is Calm, CALM, Calm. Now the third, important resource, it is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Of course, we need to consult the mental health practitioner for that purpose. Remember, thoughts are not facts at all. Thoughts are my thoughts, your thoughts. Thoughts are not facts at all. Not to treat them, not to take them like the thought. Number two, what we need to remember, you can't control everything. I can't control everything. So, but I need to control myself. I need to control my actions. I need to control my reactions. That is something which is my area of control, and I need to focus upon my area of control. Now, the third thing to remember is imperfection is okay. I don't need to be perfect at all. How can nobody is perfect at all? Simply we are looking upon, focused upon what is so shining, what is so glaring, in their life. So for that purpose, I think that we should consider ourselves quite okay, even if at all I'm not perfect. It does not mean that I don't need to improve. I need to improve. I should work continuously. I should keep learning continuously, but still it's okay to be imperfect. By understanding and addressing overthinking, by understanding and overcoming, over understanding and addressing overthinking, you can get the four major rewards of what, of overcoming the overthinking. The first major reward for overcoming the negative thinking and overcoming the overthinking, it is reduced stress and anxiety, much lesser mental stress, much lesser anxiety level. Now, the second major benefit is mental health. Improved mental health is the second major benefit. The third major benefit is boost self confidence. Yes, it does improve our self confidence a lot. The fourth major benefit is, live a more balanced life. Living a more balanced life. So these are the four major benefits of addressing the overthinking issue, overcoming the excessive thinking, the overthinking. Our today's topic was very good in this respect, that is something very common, and not only it is very something very common, it is disturbing our life a lot. We are unable to enjoy our life, unable to be more productive in our life. So that is all for today from me. Thank you very much.